Welcome to American Aboriginals, and we are here, all right, with myself, Brian Isom, LaChris Jordan. Today we have a very special person. We're going to be talking to Kerry Davis. How are you, Kerry?
Everything is great, man. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh man, it's a pleasure to have you on. Uh, when LaChris told me about you, and the first thing that came out was African Americans ain't African. Uh, could you could you dive a little bit? Um, well, first, take me on a journey from a childhood and take me up to the point to where you recognize that African Americans ain't African.
Uh, well, my mom's from Birmingham, Alabama, and she just recently passed about July 6th.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Told me on her deathbed, we all in line. Stop whining. She said that.
That's right.
So when I was born, so just imagine a 19-year-old mother. She was kicked out of Birmingham because she was in that civil rights thing. And she said, well, my son's not going to be dumb. So she taught me how to read at an early age. I was 5 years old. I was reading. The thing that I learned about how her education went is they went from being taught by the people in their community to integrating. And that integrating didn't teach them to read. It taught them to recognize the words, but it didn't teach them to comprehend it, which is a major problem we have now. We don't know what we're reading. We don't, this is most of us. 90% of African Americans don't know what the hell they reading. They just know the words. So the first thing she taught me to read on was the Bible. Garbage when I first read it. And I let her know that. Explain what this is saying. And she couldn't explain it. Yet she taught me to read from it and always told me, if you don't know something, ask questions. So I did. She could never answer the questions till the day she died. She couldn't answer the questions. So I was always one of them inquisitive cats, explain that. And from the time I hit school to the time I graduated, teachers couldn't explain nothing. They didn't know. And I would always get in trouble for asking questions. So just went through the whole school. Oh, so I graduated high school in 1982, just to give you a background. So when I got into school, like kindergarten, first grade, you guys might be a little too young, you don't know. That was right after the Civil Rights Bill was passed. The Civil Rights Bill was passed, and they did this for 2 years. You can ask anybody. They want to upgrade the schools, make them better. They did for a couple of years, then they went back down. So all through high school, all through elementary, junior high school, I was cool. It's when I got to high school was the problem. You start asking teachers questions and they couldn't answer. And I became a problem. Not because I was a butthole or anything, just because I would ask teachers questions and they couldn't answer. So, my mother used to come to school and whoop me in front of the classmates. Cold. I was like, but so before she passed, she sent me all these letters that the teacher sent her while I was in school. And all the letters were written in red ink. I was horrible. And she said, I knew this wasn't you, but I saved, because she used to save stuff. When I got to high school, that's when our high school class we took Kuja Chakalia as our class motto. It just changed. We just went from Black to African American like that. Not really thinking of it then, but when you're around 20, 21 years old, you start getting into, when you leave high school, you start growing up. and you start meeting people, because I went to the military and everybody was into this African thing. And I got into it too. Then I started asking questions. Things things didn't seem right. How would Africans get over here 5,000 miles across the sea, pissing and shitting on each other, and make it to be sold? So one of the things I do, always get a nurse. A nurse are always taking care of people and they know basic stuff. So I asked the nurse one day, is it possible that people can travel on a wind-driven ship 5,000 miles away, come to America to be sold in the auction block? Yeah, no, impossible.
Yeah.
Then you start seeing films of boats crossing the ocean. No way. No way. Then you start seeing African women. You start looking at them and the women that you grew up around. They don't look the same. They don't smell the same. They don't feel the same. Simple, different people. You know, so Africans start coming over here, and I noticed they never were really with the so-called Black people, African America, because when I was in elementary school, we were Black. When I got to high school, we was African American. How did that happen? What's this designation we're always changing? African American, Black, Negro, colored. Why is it always changing every generation or so? Nobody could answer. And, you know, I just start, you know, and then start going to other people, start hearing other people talk, because this stuff has been going on for Martin Luther King brought it up. He told us. And that's what I mean about education. We don't pass information on. This stuff has been out forever. Nobody says nothing. So it's like we get into that go along to get along thing. It makes no sense whatsoever. And it ruins the youth, because I was one of those youth. And when they say these little boys, when in school, the boys are a problem, it's not that they're a problem. Most young men, if they're not raised with their father, they have an uncle or something. And you know how uncles are. They give you the real every time. Every time. The stuff we were learning in school was bullshit. And, you know, most of us knew that. You know, that's how come I was getting the letters and stuff. Teachers would tell you stuff that they didn't even know. This is what you're going to teach your class this semester. And they was teaching it, not realizing what we were taught by our families. They would just tell us stuff and we were supposed to go along with it. And if you didn't go along with it, you were a problem.
That's deep. And you said something really poignant about they kept changing the designation every generation or so.
Yeah. So, you know, I asked my mom, what were you guys? Because my mother told me one time, my grandfather was born in 1877. And he had a 6th grade education. Little did I know at the time, everybody in the family, he didn't know nothing. That's on when he was going to school, that's only how high school went, the 6th grade. Brilliant cat. Brilliant cat. And he told me one time, because I used to always ask him questions, he was so much older. I mean, like when I was a kid, he was like in his 80s. When I was 5, 6 years old, he was in his 80s and used to walk everywhere and try to lose me, but I would always keep up. But he told me one time, he said, if you live to be my age, you will see that people will have lost the ability to walk. Every time I go into a store or something and you see those blue lines with wheelchairs in them, he comes to mind. Because you're seeing that now. We don't walk nowhere. And the stuff that's going on, most African Americans ignore. We don't pay attention. We just want to eat. And if you notice, everything we talk about is always about materialism. We're not natural no more. Well, why we got to be natural? The air you're breathing is natural, right? We're really, when we get into this, you're gonna really see how in bad shape we are. because we don't know. You have all these immigrants coming over here. I talk to them all the time. Why you leave India? Oh, India is the richest country. We're gaining. Well, why are you over here?
Right.
They trying to get what your parents left you because you don't want it.
Wow.
Kerry, I want to backtrack. You said something. You know, we went from Black to African American. Why do you think, and who do you think gave us that term? And why did we go from Black to African American?
To disconnect you from the land. So I was telling Chris before you joined us, you know, we hear folks will go down with a lady, she's 78 years old. She's convinced that we're from Africa. 78, and this is what I mean. By the Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, they both were killed when they were 39. So this is just my number. If you're 40 years old and you don't know something, you're going to be a dumbass the rest of your life. You got to know something. We don't know nothing. And we're proud of it. We don't care. We don't know nothing. I'm talking about ministers, professors are complete idiots. This is where we're at today. These kids don't know nothing. Right. And we cool with it. So they give you that name to disconnect you from the land. Used to be natural people. You tell somebody, you tell anybody anything natural, they'll cuss you out. We're not into that.
Right. You know, I grew up in Gaston, and everywhere in Gaston, there's Indian markings, the names. The county that I live in is Etowah. The falls is called Nakalula.
Yeah.
The creek, there's a famous creek here called Black Creek, and people still haven't put the two and two together. And I, like you, was very inquisitive, and I questioned a lot. Nobody had the answers, and so I would always say, "Do we have Indian in our family? Like, what's up with this African stuff?" But if we had Indians in our family, that means. And so when I look around this area, only 100 years ago, Indians was pushed down from the north to the south, along with us, the people that was here. So interbred. So we have what people don't question, and what I've learned is that within my family, no shade to my family, but not enough of us family members are here to have that knowledge. And I felt I was the only one looking for it. And I was like, wow, you know, you don't care about your history, your lineage, you know? And so I like you and with you when it comes to you know, people don't know shit.
Right.
They don't question. And those who don't question will be slaves. Those who do question will find out the answer. And it says, I'll take this quote from the Bible, even though I'm with you. I think the Bible is very confusing, but I'll take quotes from it. And it says, "A man haveth not because he asks not." So if we ask, the universe hears us. And they say, when a student is ready, a teacher will come.
That's what I mean about natural. So you ever see ants? Okay, so you'll know this. Perfect. You ever heard of Tallapoosa?
Yes.
Who were they? Who were the Tallapoosa? If you've been down to Birmingham, you will see it's a major exit on the 20 freeway going to Atlanta. Tallapoosa. It goes all the way to the Georgia border. Who were the Tallapoosa? You ask the average Negro here, I don't know. We don't know nothing. I mean, it's embarrassing too. We know how to wear a hat. We know how to wear all this stuff in our hair, cutting us off. George Clinton said, everybody's got a little light under the sun. When the sun hits you, it's like an electrical charge. Why you think you got to get your hair cut all the time? Why you think you got to wear wigs and baseball caps? To keep you dumb. And we with it. We with it. You don't tell me I can't be dumb. Oh, I had a sister tell me that one time. I can be dumb if I want to. You don't tell me what to do. You ain't my daddy, nigga. I had a sister tell, and this chick had 2 kids. I'm like, you're kidding me. You don't tell me what to do. Now, same woman just had her breast removed. We playing. We playing. And then when something happens to us, why? What was that for? We playing. No natural abilities at all. Totally cut off. We're not into that. We're the most artificial people on the planet.
I agree. I think the cell phone, the technology, has hurt us tremendously because it's doing their job. The cell phones, the technology is doing their job, keeping us distracted and keeping us dumbed down, keeping us entertained. Yeah. I always say the phone will either educate, you can use to educate yourself or to entertain yourself. But most people use it to entertain, which dumbs us down. I mean, you can't put the phone down. It's so addictive that we can't even think, like you said, naturally with nature, being in touch with nature, going outside and letting nature give us everything that we need. But most people don't have that belief. If I just sit in nature, what's that gonna do for me? But they haven't been taught and groomed how to just sit and listen to the inner voice, listen to the God-given intuition, your discernment. We've been snatched from the discernment and the intuition, the innate ability to connect with everything around us in a way that is of love and light. I think
what we do, like we take and just teach the kids natural stuff. So we'll do this. We'll go to an anthill, take a break, drop it on the anthill. The ants aren't sitting there fighting and all that. They get up and start building again. When you look at ants, remember, like I said, I don't know, you guys are kind of young. So when I was a kid, they used to have this a teaching tool called an ant farm. You remember that? It was a glass box, it had sand in it, but you put ants in it, and you can just watch the ants just, make their paths and stuff. Right. One of the things about ants, and this is people the same way. Every time you see an ant, each ant, when they pass each other, what the thing they do? They touch antennas. Not only are they picking up all the information from the ant that they hit with, that ant that they're hitting is getting all the information that ant hit with prior. So all the ants behind me, you getting all that information, all the ants behind you, I'm getting that information. That's how we used to do it. Nigga, you don't tell me what to do. I can do what I want to do. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Simple, dude. This stuff is simpler than wiping your ass.
Yeah. Well, Kerry, this is so deep. This is such a deep conversation because one of the things we find on the American Aboriginals is we just present information and research. And we're not even going to talk about how people aren't reading anymore. But when we show it to you in a presentation, photos and pictures, okay, you don't read and you may be a visual learner, we still get pushback. Oh, I don't believe that. Even when it's right in front of you, we still get that. So it's going to take some time. The indoctrination is real. It's deeply, deeply ingrained. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about the reversal, because I'm also seeing people waking up. I'm seeing people saying, forget all of this. We're from Africa. I'm doing my genealogy. I'm in this family tree, and I'm seeing something completely different from what I saw in those history books in high school.
Yeah.
So do you think that's part of the journey for many of us?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're seeing it now. A lot of especially the young people, because I'm not. People will say I'm mean. I'm not mean, but damn, if you're gonna say something stupid, you got to back it up. And what these young people are seeing now, they like, damn. You ask them a question. So if you look at all the groups that African American in, you got Moors, Hebrew Israelites, Christians, Muslims. I mean, we can go on for about the next hour naming all the groups that we're in. So the concept of unity keeps eluding us because we think we're all these characters in the Bible. And when you ask people, so like when a young man was saying the Bible, just ask questions, simple questions that people should realize. So, and I'm down here in Birmingham, and big Christian place, huge. So one of the things I ask the people down here, because all they do is talk about the Bible. How did Jesus' mama ride from Nazarene to Bethlehem overnight, 91 miles on a donkey? How come God, the creator of everything, how did God go from God to a Lord? This is on page 1. How did 2 men create a woman? This is on page 1. Nobody knows. Huh? This is simple stuff. And this is why we lose. And this is why people dick us around, because we teach our kids this stuff. But we just keep lying to our kids, playing. This is what we do. And this is what we know for a long. The Bible? Really? It talks about, I asked this minister this, and this is when I said, y'all ass is done. The Bible talks about unicorns. You lying? Turn to Numbers 23:22. That's only one of 9 places in the Bible that's it. The average Negro, I didn't know. You never know nothing. You're trained not to know nothing. That's where we are.
Kerry, what do you think? I feel your passion. I'm the same way. I'm super passionate.
Yeah.
I'm in my 40s.
Okay.
I spent 17 years in the military. I lived in Los Angeles in acting. So I've been around the world a little bit. You know, I don't look like it. I don't talk like it. You know, but I hear your passion, and sometimes our passion can get mistaken as Mr. Angry Man.
Oh yeah, that's all the time. Yeah. Have you ever heard of a young lady named Latasha Harlins?
No.
This is about the time the Rodney King incident went down. Latasha Harlins goes into a Korean store. This is what I'm saying. This is why I don't shop with them, because back then we all made a pact. We're not going to spend money with people who dog us out. I'm the only one I know who kept that word. We love buying stuff from other people. Latasha Harlan walks into this store to get some orange juice or something. The lady wound up shooting her in the back of the head. This is what these are the things that happen to us, and we don't care. We don't care what happens to our children. Yeah. We don't care.
Kerry, I'm sorry, LaChris, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to interject and say that that story got lost during the Rodney King riots. Many people will make the connection that once that happened, it kind of set the tone for some things. But that story did get kind of lost once, Rodney King happened.
Do you know how many? Listen. So, I was in high school when this hip hop stuff hit, right? I'm going to ask you two. You're in your 40s. How many people from the time hip hop started, rap, to now, and the crack era, how many children, and when I say children, I'm talking about 18 and under, How many children have we lost?
A lot to that era because of the influence. Because the influence is so powerful. Music is a powerful medium. Movies is a powerful medium. We lost a lot of, when Boys in the Hood came out, I didn't know turn your gun like this until you're watching, So me being a filmmaker myself, going to film school, I have a responsibility to the psychology that I'm pushing to the people. Now, there's a cause and effect of what I put out.
Right.
Negative, some positive. So the rap era during that time period of Tupac, even Tupac said it when he went to Rikers Island. He said there was guys in there saying, "Nigga, we ain't here because of you." And Pac said, "Whoa, wait a minute." He said, "First I had to think, what? They glorify being up in here because of my music? Oh, hell no." See, he had to have a change of he had to change his mindset. If he knew that I'm bringing people to destruction, whoa, I'm that powerful.
Yeah. So you talk to these cats who are, in this rap music and stuff. And so I ask one question, and they sit and they think about this. Had a guy get out of jail, was in jail for 40 years. This was in 2010. And if you said you've been in LA. So if you know South Central LA, one of the main streets in South Central LA is a street called Normandy. Mm-hmm. You ever see that cat Reginald Denny get beat up around the King thing? So my aunt was the one who called the police. They're killing him. That was my aunt. You walk about 70, the 71st, no. So it's about 50 blocks going south, you'll get to Imperial Highway. So Imperial Highway is where I lived. So this cat said he got out of jail. He said, and he walked from Florence to where I used to live. He said, man, what happened to all the Black people? You guys killed each other off, remember? So you see all these immigrants coming over here? If you wouldn't have killed each other off, it would be filled with us. We don't even get it. This is what we do. Because see, we are doing the white man sin. It's what you do. You see all these cats trying to be hardcore and all this. Dude, you're wearing us out. This is what we do.
That's right.
This is what we do.
So Kerry, what would be your solution to the ignorance amongst the African American the males and the females? What would be your solution right now in this very moment? Something that we could do.
Seriously, pull every kid out of school, burn every church down. Start thinking. Think. You will pick it up. You breathe. The light hits your eyes, powers up your brain. Take off the shades. Damn, this is simple stuff. Overnight, start producing your own food again. Stop getting on your knees for everybody. I mean, these are things that it ain't got nothing to do. Check this out. So you hear all these cats say, and this whole sports thing, horrible. I gotta feed my family. 50% of the food in America that's produced is thrown in the garbage. This is what we do. And we always trying to come up with some way why we act an ass. I need to feed my family. 80% of the people are overweight. The food, so I got a niece. So at first she thought I was crazy, but then she started checking me out. She said, you know what, you're right. So I want you to come to the store with me. Go to the store with her. She pulling everything off the shelf. Bioengineered, made with bioengineered ingredients. Everything. What we can do, start thinking. Most people don't even know how to think. You tell them to think, what is that? They don't know what thinking is. They've never done it before. They're just told what to do. The average, what you call black man, don't know nothing. And you can see all these people that, have you seen that Cat Williams piece that just came out?
I did.
The cast that he's talking about, that's 90% of the people. Full of shit, don't know nothing, lie. The average so-called black person, when they open their mouth, they're lying. Tell me I'm lying. They lying. That's all they know how to do. What one of the old sayings, you a lie and the truth ain't in you. Everything we say is a lie. Men and all that men and women, get out of that. None of us would be here without each other. Natural stuff. I'm not better than, how am I be better? Oh, so this is what thing I want to say. So when me and my mother used to get into it, because she was a Christian, I was ugh. So I said, Mama, you don't even care who I think God is. She said, well, who do you think God is? You. Why would you say that? Because when I couldn't take care of myself, you were there. She started crying. You're the one, you. Ain't that what mothers do? Take care of nurses, mothers aren't, it's right in our face, man. It's right, there's no excuse. This is right in our face. But nurse, my sister's a nurse. I remember my sister was 4 years old, putting something around her head to act like a doctor that she just seen in a book or something, taking care of me when I was sick. This is what, you know, the sisters that are nurses, coolest people on the planet. We ignore them and asshole about it. We ignore those that take care of us. Don't give them no play. Dog them out. That's the whole hip hop music. They started calling women bitches when I was in high school. Once the women started grooving to it, hey, it was over. This is what we do.
You know, Kerry, that is so that's so deep. And at the same time, it's sad because as women, we have a responsibility. We birth nations. And so there's so much that is happening to us now. There's a destruction of women. I'm not going to name all the rapper names, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The ones who have show us the lowest of the low. You can't even say that these are women from the hood because there's women from the hood that don't act this trashy. And so for me personally, we have so much we have to do, particularly as women. And yet I see in this space that there's a great deal of battle of the sexes being played. And it saddens me often because I think that if we don't see each other, we're going to really become extinct. So being from a generation where women were treated differently, what could you tell the women who are responsible for birthing the future? What can we be doing?
Stop being fake. This is to the women, because the women raise the children. Mm-hmm. That fake eyelash, fake hair, all that stuff. What you doing? The women. And leave these dudes that losers alone. These brothers ain't got nothing for you. And I talk about this with the sisters all the time. These cats ain't for you. They're in these men clubs, and they'll do. We can pick them out just sitting in the park. They always trying to act like they're over women. You're not. You're not. Like you got something, dude. You a slave today, right now. People from Ukraine, Nigeria, coming over to your country, taking over your stuff, and you trying to dog your women out. Explain. Fuck you, nigga. You don't tell. That's all we do. So, history, very important. Go back in the history. You said you were in the military. How did brothers start going to the military? Who got brothers to start going into the military? The Masons. All you gonna notice all these groups, Masons, Moors, all these, they're not on your side. They're there to confuse you. Well, what's the name? Africa, what's the cat name? The African Masons. What are they called? Prince Hall Mason.
Prince Hall.
Prince Hall Mason.
Yeah.
It was him who got Negroes to start going into the military. Some Negroes were fighting with the English. Some Negroes were fighting with the Spanish. Some Negroes were fighting with the French. Where'd you get the guns from, monkey? Mm-hmm. The purpose of you getting the guns was, nigga, you better kill each other before you think about turning this gun on us. Okay.
You know, it's funny you say that because I came across a document in the North Carolina archives. And this was a letter that the lords were writing back and forth to each other, the governors and what have you. And one of the quotes, this is one of our videos we did, he said that it's better that they are fighting each other than us. And that was their policy.
Yeah.
This was their policy, to keep us going at each other.
And that's what we do.
The reason why we can have this conversation is because we read, we do our research.
But how hard is it? So it's like Martin Luther King in this "I Have a Dream" speech. Millions of Negroes heard that Martin Luther King speak. Martin Luther King, like, we're exiled in our own home.
And wasn't the March on Washington not even supposed to be this peaceful march? It was supposed to be something completely different, according to Malcolm X. Malcolm X told it in an interview. He broke it down. He said, these are the people who betrayed you, because it wasn't even supposed to be this peaceful march on Washington. Those folks were going to Washington for something completely different.
He was right.
He told it.
So that's what I mean about those cats. They were young. They didn't know nothing. So Malcolm X, remember, he was a thug. This
that, Kerry. Yeah. You know, when I think about it, Kerry, when you really do a deep dive on a lot of this stuff that we are taught, you would stop believing in anything.
Yeah, you have to.
Because you're like, this don't make no sense. You guys lied again.
So I'm having it out with this cat. He's a Moor now. Don't know nothing. Don't know nothing about him. I'm like, this. It's like the Hebrew Israelites. When did the Hebrew Israelite become popular here in America? A guy from the Caribbean bought it here. Just like the Black Panthers. See, the Black Panthers started here in Alabama. Stokely Carmichael, who's from Trinidad, came up, stole the name, took it to Oakland, ruined the community. Black Panthers was the first one to let the gay lesbian thing start. The third in charge of the Black Panther was a Japanese dude that was in charge of educating your children and providing you weapons. How come that's never brought up? Richard Okoye, look him up. This is what we do. And we're arrogant.
Kerry, I want to ask you. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought. No, finish
No,
your thought.
but
Finish
this
your
is what
thought.
I'm saying. This is all these cats. All let's take the Black Panthers for one. You ever notice the Black Panthers? All the children died, the young cats died, and all the adults went on to get college professors, went into the government, including Angela Davis. How come we don't know this? All the kids, Fred Hampton, Mark Clark, all them cats, they were 18, 19 years old.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And this is what happens. We sacrifice our children because we want, and so this is what I ask all the civil rights all-stars. And you in Alabama, so you're gonna know this. So when my mother was trying to go to school at Alabama, they told her, nigga, get your bagging ass out of here. What Negroes doing at University of Alabama now? Making them bank. You see how dumb we look? You see how dumb we look? Making University of Alabama bank. They wouldn't even let your grandmama go to school there. They got sisters bad wearing dresses like Bear Bryant's hat. This is what we do. This is what we do. And we'll cuss you out if you tell them anything about it. This is Negroes here in Alabama.
Kerry, I want to ask you a quick question. Out of all of your experiences up until now, what have you learned about yourself during all of your years of living?
First thing, and this is what I mean, connecting yourself back with the natural order thing, because everybody got here a natural way. I ask every woman this: who told you you were pregnant? This is to your question. What did I learn about myself? Who told you that you were pregnant? Nobody. Yeah, somebody told you was pregnant when you were pregnant. First time. About 80% of women get it. Who told you was pregnant? Nobody told me I was pregnant. Yeah, they did. Didn't your baby tell you was pregnant? Yeah, you're right. I thought you said nobody told you was pregnant. You come here, you're not, remember, this is just what I call it third grade. We're in the third grade. You don't die. We think when you die, you in a box and the box never opens again. You have memories. You're in the natural world. Soon as that egg and that sperm explode, your journey begins. Your birthday ain't shit. You're here. You start communicating with your mama. It changes her life forever, right? So that's the first thing I learned. Oh, I'm not here forever. My grandfather lived to be 108. And when he was 100, I interviewed him. I asked him, how does it feel to be 100? You know what he told me? He said, it's not enough time. It's not enough time. What have I learned since I've been here? We're only here for a minute. Get your ass busy, stop whining, and do what the hell you came here to do. That's all of us. You're not here forever. You can wake up tomorrow and be gone. You're here for a reason. You came here for a reason. What you here for? You got to answer that question. Why are you here? You ever heard of a group called Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Yes.
They got a song called All About Love. And I know y'all, if you listen to the music in the 70s, we ain't got no excuse. Maurice White said, talking to yourself is fine, make you feel much better. Ask yourself questions. You're going to come up with the answer. You ain't dumb. You gonna figure it out. We don't even talk to we don't even talk to ourselves. We don't talk to each other. We don't even talk to each other. We walk by each other and look at each other like you stank. We don't even talk to each other.
I think we don't talk to each other because it's been said that talking to yourself is deemed crazy. It's a belief that everybody doesn't have to buy into it, but enough of us have heard that. Stop talking to yourself. That's crazy.
Well, I talk to you and you say stupid shit all the time. So, you know, and one of the things, and another thing we got to pay attention to, not just your mother, but you have uncles and aunts too. They the bomb. They tell you stuff that, don't you have aunts that there are certain things your mother won't let you do, but your aunt's cool with it. They cool. You got people in your family that's connected to you. But like I said, those aunts hit each other. Those people are like that too. Cousins. You got a whole bunch of people. But during that whole 60 thing, when everybody, and you probably weren't born yet, but when everybody left Alabama, moved to Detroit, Los Angeles, Ohio, remember that time frame?
Mm-hmm,
You probably wasn't even born yet.
In the 60s, but I heard about it from my family members. I got great uncles.
So what you guys leave for? And then we saw, and it reminded me of this. You remember the story of Emmett Till?
Yes.
Emmett Till's people turned him in, told these crackers where he was. Why'd they do that? And I've learned that when I got down here. So you've been all over the world. You've been to Chicago, LA, New York. The brothers there, they move a little different than they do down south. It's not that they think they're better, but you have to have a certain oomph about yourself because you're competing with all those other cats there for whatever reason. If women, jobs, whatever, you got to be vibing at a high level. It's not like that down here. Yes, boss, when you say boss, I do it. That's how it is down here. Not
trust me, I know. Trust me, I live here. I'm born and raised here. 9 years in LA, traveled across the country. I came back to Alabama to just hold energy.
Right.
And to not tell people what to do.
Right.
But to just be the light. I am the goddamn light.
That's right. That's right.
So I walk into a room, don't have to say nothing. They look at how I wear my hat. They look at how I wear my clothes. They look at when I speak. They go, where you from?
Yeah.
I've had a couple of white men run their buggies in front of me before I got out the store and says, where you from? You're not from here. I said, yes, I am. They says, no, you're not. You don't act and talk like you're from here. I says, and I think it scared them because they probably were like, how many more of you talk like this? Where are you guys hiding? So it was low-key scary for them to have an articulate young Black brother that knows how to conduct himself, communicate effectively with no argument, and can run circles around them. And they go, I'm afraid. I can sense the fear that, like, where are the other ones? If there's you, where you guys hiding at? Where you guys here locally in Gaston?
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
I'm here. So
that's exactly how it is. That's exactly how it is. And I see cats. You ever see that movie, The Green Mile?
Yeah.
Also, boss, and John Coffey.
Lord.
So that's how I say the Negro is.
Yes,
he can do stuff.
Yes.
Bad. Don't get me wrong. Negroes are some bad folks. The world wouldn't even be this if we weren't here.
Yeah.
Of course.
But that attitude, boss, so this is one of the things I do. This is one of the things I show to my classes. Let me show this to you. You ever seen this?
Confederate, $50.
Yeah.
Oh,
Interesting. Oh yeah.
You can go
Oh,
online. So this was the money pre-Civil War. So this is what I ask all the people who say we Africans. Would they put slaves on the money? No, these people didn't bring money with them. You already had it.
and it was you. When you
It
look at
was
all the census records, when you look at all the names, it was us, slaveholders, owners, whatever you want to say. And this, I tell people this: you got to look at these records and you got to ask the question. The first census, 1790. Now, okay, I did my little calculations. I did a video on this too. My little calculations based on the slave voyages, right? Those numbers are made up. But if we're going to just use their numbers, let's use their numbers against them. Why is it that you have only roughly about 100 and some odd thousand Africans by the time 1790 rolls around? But in the 1790 census, those they were counting as slaves, not the indentured, but the ones they were counting as slaves was almost 600,000. Where all the people come from? Again, like you said, Kerry, why don't y'all ask the question?
yeah,
Ask the question.
yeah.
They're telling you with the records, even. It's right there.
Are you guys familiar with a sister named Lisa Cypress?
no, I'm not. I'm not familiar with her.
I'm gonna turn her. I'm gonna give you her information. She gonna blow you out the fucking water. So because she's up there in Virginia, everything they've told you is a damn lie. Everything. No Africans came. So I just saw you, and you know this being in Alabama. Guess what they showing on TV now?
Roots, bro. Who's the gun take? You talking
For
about here?
real? Again?
Is it the dumbest thing you've seen?
I seen it growing up, and I used to be like, wow. I used to be depressed when I saw it as a kid.
Yep,
I was like,
I remember that.
why is this? It was just so sad, and I was like, huh?
Dude,
Again.
and oh my god.
Look, I don't even watch TV, and I kind of got an inkling of what you where you were going.
Why are they doing that, Kerry? Why are they showing?
To keep you,
to keep
boss,
you.
you won't. Huh? No, to keep you in that mindset.
Don't forget where you came. It's almost like don't forget where you came from. We're gonna put this movie out here to psychologically put into your foot. And then how many times they show it through repetition programming, it's like dangling. A therapist say, hey, keep your eyes on me, keep your eyes on the medallion and hear me talk.
Yep.
If the more, even in the news program, they replay an image over as they're talking. It's a sign of psychological programming. So the films that they show that like Roots, is psychologically damaging to the people that puts them back in their place. They say, well, damn, we came from Roots. You watch Roots again. You better get in there and watch Roots. Hey, get in here, kids. Y'all need to watch where y'all came from.
You know what's the embarrassing part about it? The whole thing? Africans be like, what the hell y'all talking about?
They have no idea.
Oh.
They have no, they come scratching their heads confused.
Yeah. But see, but you know, but they got this attitude. I'm like, dude, if Africa's got all these diamonds and gold and all this, why are you over here? Why are your people catching hell over there, but you're over here? Explain.
Because America is one of the most freest countries because it takes America. We ain't gave up our guns.
Right.
A lot of these countries gave up their guns. A lot of these countries gave up their freedom. A lot of these people are told, we in America, if they can control America, then they can control the world. But right now, the agenda is to control America, a land where there's still a few of us left that we can't, they're not going out to fight.
That's right.
So one of the things you asked earlier is, what can we do? Like I say, the whole natural world, this sister said this to me one day. She said, when the Negro awakes, the world will quake. And I was like, what do you mean by that?
That's
She
right.
said, really? She said, you don't know. You used to make a sound. That's why your singing is worldwide. Your singing is the shit. You used to make a sound, and the animals were with you. That changed this whole thing around. Now everybody got a dog. Do you know what that does to the atmosphere? You having a foreign animal. You ever heard of a pronghorn?
No.
You know what a pronghorn? A pronghorn is an animal that runs 60 miles an hour or 60 miles. See, here in America. Do you know, and of course, you've heard of the black belt down here. Do you know that some of the food that used to be grown here, they took that, don't even grow here no more? They took it to other places so you wouldn't have it.
Yeah, I can believe that.
This is where we are. And I know you know this type of shit happens. Take your food.
It's so much going on, and it's becoming incredibly obvious. People are hanging on dear life to what they've been taught. But you gotta let it go. It's killing you, literally killing you.
The last interview I did, he said the guy, but he was a younger cat. He's about in his 20s. So he comes in. So he said, well, I play this type music when I come in. I'm like, it's not music, dude. He's like, what do you mean it's not music? I said, it's not music. It's not instruments blended together to make a sound. He goes, okay, well, play what you want to play. I said, okay. He said, I'll play it. What is it? I go, have you ever heard of a song called Grazing in the Grass? Not by Hugh Masekela. He's an African cat that wrote it, but the version that the indigenous people in America did, he said no. Man, he put that on and went crazy. He was like, God damn. I'm like, that's the music that your mama know about it. Ask your grandmama. Ask your grandmama about Al Green. She'll probably start crying. I'm like, listen to the music, dude. They were telling you. Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Parliament, Ohio. They was telling you. They wasn't playing music. They were taught to play music by people from Count Basie, Duke Ellington. Those people were the cats that taught them. They were passing it down. You got to know this stuff, dude. What you listen to now is called garbage. You getting mad all you want. It's garbage, dude. It's garbage. Listen to it. It's junk. All you hear is some artificial sounds. So you're familiar with Motown, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Motown, the bass player, James Jamerson. You've heard him. This is how he learned to play the bass. Put a rubber band at the end of a stick, put the stick in an anthill, and played with the rubber bands. He did that because he could make the ants dance. These are things that you used to do all the time.
Of course, yes. It's in us. It's innate. It's about awakening. Whenever we play sports, it's always created by white people, right? And then they know innately when we play, Black African Americans, we have a certain energy about us that we dominate everything that we touch. Right. And that's where I think is the voice. It's the scary part. That's why when the African American awakens, be very afraid. You don't have to be afraid.
Right.
But we're dominant. Everything that we touch, everything that we do. it gets amplified because we don't dance. We dance. We don't
Right.
sing. We sing. Whatever
Right.
we do, Tiger Woods didn't play golf. He mastered golf.
He
All
mastered.
these with tennis, football. Michael Jordan didn't invent it. He mastered it, right? So when they see this and they see us in these, even though these are physical attributes, they know the power that lies directly within our innate ability. Effortlessly, when it takes 3 cops to take down 1 African American male, and they struggle, and the guy didn't even work out, skinny, scrawny, and it's oh my god, they know something, it's in there. But when when we awaken as a unit, not as a unit, each individual will play a part.
Right. So that's why they bring a lot of immigrants over, and they bring them over from the Caribbean. They come down from the Caribbean, from Africa, Asia. They come over here and learn to speak better than you because they copy your mothers, your grandmother.
I want to ask one more question before we have to go, because I don't know how much time we have, Chris, before this hour, before the Zoom shuts down.
Oh my goodness.
Oh damn, it's been an hour already?
It's been an hour. I want to ask you, Kerry, could you share with us in the audience, share your highest knowledge, your highest form of knowledge that you know?
The highest form of knowledge. I don't know. I think that you know, that what you call it, a glass ceiling. I think that's one of their things. I don't think it's a highest. I think we're right in the middle of it. It's like when you're in the water. If you 3 feet tall, 6 feet is deep. I mean, it's not a highest thing. It's not a better thing. It's not the best thing. So it's like asking, who's better, Michael Jackson or Prince? We can't enjoy them both. Mm-hmm. It's nothing better than. It's everything. You can do whatever. Right. Whatever you want to do, you can do it, as long as you're not stepping on nobody else. That's how you know about all these different. When you say, okay, here's something that's really tight. Tallapoosa, Letahatchee, Tuscaloosa, Tallahassee, Etowah, all these places, these people did different things. The people in Georgia grew the best peaches. They just traded with the people over here in Alabama. Hey, we'll send you a shipload through these creeks, because these creeks and rivers used to be the highways. You send us some pecans, we'll send you some peaches. That's how they used to trade. It wasn't that they were better than the people over here. Everybody has something. Everybody has something they can share. So that's what I would say. It's not, I'm better than you just because you wear a size 11 and a half and I wear a size 11. That don't be, you know the shit that we be doing. Dude, we're all children of the sun, nature, whatever you want to put it. We're all part of that.
I asked that question because for me, as I sought for knowledge as a kid growing up here in Gaston, I sought for higher knowledge. The highest knowledge that I found so far is balance. Balance my emotion. Balance.
Yeah.
Which is the order of the universe. Oh, yeah. Balance my emotions. Balance how I move. Don't rush everything.
Right.
Because out of balance is out of order, and out of order leads to accidents, leads to death. When you're rushing and then you fumble, you're like, oh, dang, I broke something. But when you're in alignment with the Most High, which is balance, you're not on one extreme or the other. You're at peace and harmony. You're in perfect peace and perfect harmony. So that way you can think clearly. You're not irrational with your thoughts. Somebody's acting up, and you don't just say, oh, I'm going to act and then think later. No, you think first. Calming yourself, be balanced before I react, because I understand what's happening. You're trying to manipulate me, or I perceive your deception, and I have nothing but light to give you. that's the purpose I asked that question, to share, because you may have some knowledge that I don't, that I haven't.
Well, we all do. So that's why I'm gonna turn you on to this sister Lisa Cypress. She gonna blow you out the water. But you gonna be like, what? Because she's a sister out here, and I done had brothers call her bitches just because she knows stuff. Now this sister's in her people are from Virginia. I mean, she give you when you listen to it, you're gonna be like, what? What she's found, man, she done went back to the 1600s and found her folks.
Mm.
I done had brothers call her bitches because they, well, how come you don't talk about the people in Nevada? Because I'm not from Nevada. Bitch, you don't. I'm like, dude, really? This where we at? So I'm gonna when we finish time, I'm gonna call her and have her, I'm gonna send her an email. This email, get with her. You guys will love her.
Okay.
Kerry,
I would love to have
you, man. We want to
Yeah.
have you back. We could talk to you forever.
It's cool. It's just call me when you're ready. But I'm gonna turn you on to her because you guys said you guys doing your thing for the new year. She will. You'll see.
Send her our way. Send her our way. We
Yeah.
would love to talk with her, pick her brain, and extract knowledge from her.
You're gonna be like, but look, check out these two films. If you check out these two films, your whole thing is gonna change. Silver Dollar Road,
Okay.
Killing of the Flower Moon.
That's the Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, I'm gonna see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't read the book, but I hear it's pretty he revealed a lot of stuff. And I've been noticing they're talking
about they're talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
See,
people
so
get
when you see
mad when I say this.
So people Native Americans, you ever ask a Native American? Because this is what I ask them, because they bullshit. How come you guys just don't call yourselves Americans?
And how about this? How about you guys always hide in the dark here, brothers and sisters? Where they at? I know that's not proper English, but that's to use to make a point. Because you can go from state to state to state to state to state, and you will see dark-hued Aboriginals, or quote-unquote Indians. But the ones we see in the day, they're not the same.
They'll tell you, we're the ones who don't know. It ain't them, it's us. They know. They know.
They sure do.
They know.
Hey, Kerry, real quick, explain to me this poster behind you that's in the back, that's on your wall.
Oh, it's just, all the indigenous places in America. So, like you said, I was talking about Tallapoosa. There's names all over the place. That's all the map is of all the indigenous people. And you'll be able to look like, so when I first saw the young lady right there, how are you African? Anybody in the world can look at her and tell her. Anybody. No, where else do they look like that? It's like when you see African. Well, how come Africans are so dark? Because they live on the equator. It's simple stuff that we don't even get. Dude, they live in a different part of the planet, dude. And all the people who live around the equator are that same hue because they get in the sun. They're getting the same thing from the sun.
Yeah.
We don't even figure that out.
They're not teaching it in schools, and it's making us even more dumber and dumber and dumber. And therefore the offspring is get dumber and dumber. And so
deer don't go to school. Roaches don't go to school.
Gorillas don't need a school to teach their offspring where to pick the herbs and the fruit.
That's right. That's so right.
Hey, you need to go to gorilla school to figure out where to find the bananas,
Gorilla school. Yeah, man. We don't.
Gosh.
Dude,
it's funny. I love it. I was watching a nature show the other day, and this one was on cheetahs, and they are moving in migration because they know when the different seasons are. They know where the food is. And it's just so fascinating to watch them because they move and they know which direction they're going. I have no maps. They know the weather.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fascinating.
So it's like, and people always get twisted by this. Why do you celebrate New Year in the dead of winter? Explain. You wonder why you twist it. Explain to me, why are you so, because, and you know from being from Alabama, spring cleaning. Get up, it's spring, we're gonna clean the house because it's a new year.
As April. April, May. That's when things harvest. That's when you March and April. March and April is when the new beginnings, the new beginnings start. That's when the resurrection, quote unquote, will cry. It's the start of a new cycle, That's when things blossom. The air is fresher. The flowers are giving off their perfume of a sense and everything. And then it's time for harvest, for planting.
Happy Kwanzaa. That's where they got you. Kwanzaa. For real, cuz?
I need to do research on that because why are we doing this to ourselves? Do we do research on anything and we just take it in?
Whatever they tell us to do, we do.
That's the thing.
I think 90% of our time we're distracted. So it's like, where are we spending our time? We're distracting ourselves. I don't own a TV, so I don't want to be distracted. I own my highway of the mind. This is my own TikTok is up here. I go through 1 billion thoughts in a nanosecond.
You said thoughts. What are you doing thinking? Who told you could think?
I command. So I think and I command. I create. I have the creator's mind. So if I have the creator's mind, so therefore, why do I need something else to tell me how to think and create? So I think it, I command it, I manifest it, and I watch and I practice manifesting because I've been out of tune and I'm retweaking and rebalancing myself so that I could speak it. And it manifests right here in Gaston, Alabama, quietly in my apartment.
Brother, you need to get yourself right with Jesus, brother.
all day, every day.
Yeah.
He hears that a lot.
So you just said it. You think you can figure this out. You can figure it out like them cheetahs, like those gorillas. You come from the same where they come from. And you're not going to be here long. So get that shit done immediately.
That's right.
Mr. Davis, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
We're definitely going to do this again.
Listen, I'm going to have Lisa send me an email and I'm going to send it over to you guys so you guys can just contact her, okay?
Okay.
That'd be so lovely.
Excellent.
And thank you guys. And look, when you know nothing, because I know nothing. From where I'm from, I'm the dumb one. And it's not a slight. I understand what they're saying. Brother, when y'all learn this, you're going to be like, damn. It's kind of like you say, how high can you go? It's not no high. You're going to get something from there. You're going to think of something. Y'all going to be talking one night. Damn, you'll see. It's going to blow you away.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, forward to it. Well, thank you guys for having me. And we have to do this again.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
You guys have a good night.
All right, you too.
All right. Peace.